TV 38 Sports presents Boston Red Sox Baseball. Brought to you in part by Bud Light, the light beer with a first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. Good afternoon, everybody, from Fenway Park in Boston. I'm Ned Martin, along with Bob Montgomery. Down on the field, they are introducing the defending American League champion Red Sox. Sherm Feller doing the honors.
Pitcher Rob Woodward. Number 46.
There are the pennant rings being given to each player as they come out. Bob Stanley getting a mixed review and laughing about it. They're all getting the championship rings as they come out on the field.
Charlie Moore. Physical therapist, Rick Sawaki.
And starting his 55th season with the Red Sox, equipment manager Vince Orlando. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1987 Boston Red Sox defending American League champion.
So we have the introduction of the players. The color guard coming on. Jim Rice and John McNamara walking out towards center field. They will unveil the pennant flag, putting it underneath the American flag in center field. So it's always, opening day is a little bit different, and certainly it is different in Boston, Massachusetts, isn't it, Monty?
Well, it's cold chill time, Ned. Certainly for John McNamara, and I know Jim Rice, quite an honor. Not the flag that they really had intention of waving in center field in 1987, and so very close to having the big blue flag, I assume that it would have been, were they to be the world champions. But nonetheless, there's some cold chills going on, especially with Jim Rice, him acting, of course, as the captain. John McNamara is appointed captain for this ball club, and John McNamara, I'm sure, his long tenure as a manager in the big leagues, being able to hoist the flag of a championship.
So the pennant flag will go up as both teams, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Red Sox, stand along the lines.
We now direct your attention to the center field flagpole area, where American League President Dr. Robert Brown, manager John McNamara, and team captain Jim Rice will raise the 1986 American League Championship pennant.
So there she goes, to be here all summer long. Pennant flag, which will be defended this summer, and the Red Sox hope to keep it there for another year. So a pretty sight out in center field for the Red Sox and their fans, and they're all here today, packed house, to welcome them back and hope to get them on the right track after being on a bit of a wrong track in Milwaukee. But they've got one of their aces going today and one tomorrow, and we got Boyd next week. Right now, ladies and gentlemen,
sings the Canadian national anthem.
The national anthems of both countries.
Home and native land,
Mr. Ashley Gibbons with the Canadian national anthem. Color guard waiting and everyone waiting for the singing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
The American national anthem. And we do not know about the holdup. Mr. Lee Greenwood was supposed to be singing the American national anthem. But right now they're going to have Tip O'Neill throw out the first ball down there.
And now the team returning to the dugout. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here is the congressman, a very big baseball fan, big Red Sox fan throughout the years. Tip O'Neill and Mrs. O'Neill. On a nice warm day that dawned a little bit better than it is now.
Today's game. Home plate.
It dawned bright and clear. It's a little cloudy, but very, very mild and moderate, and a good day for baseball. So we've had 2 good days in a row, one in Milwaukee yesterday, and maybe some of that weather has come east.
Rick Reed.
Here's the first, ceremonial first pitch by Tip O'Neill. We'll be back in just a moment.
It was so simple. Really, a direct electrical charge here heats up the carbonized filament here, which in turn excites the gases trapped in here, and voila!
Well, it's very nice, Thomas. But I wanted a Bud Light.
If you want the great taste of Bud Light, ask for it.
Don't feel bad, Thomas. It's not a complete loss.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Don't you want to hear the rumor?
How do you people get the Christmas spirit when it's 80 degrees outside?
That's enough, Mr. Grant.
I hear we got a scandal going on at the old Trib.
I told you to pick a company to investigate sexual harassment. I didn't mean this one.
No, sir, Jack. This is our baby.
Lou, there's more here than meets the eye. Something stinks.
Can I use your office to scream in?
Just because my name is Donovan does not make me the staff expert on the Irish problem.
Nothing to do but quit.
Lou Grant is the best news in town. Weeknights at 5 on TV 38.
It's 4 waitresses working together.
I take back all the bad things I ever said about you. You didn't say anything bad about me. Not to your face.
It's service with a smile.
I'm waiting for my meal.
Beat it, Bub. I'm on hold here with my Mercedes dealer.
It's a talented piano player. It's a show that's a cut above the rest.
Now that we've served Dot as the hors d'oeuvre, some of the customers would like their main course.
It's a living.
Saturday night at 6 here on WSBK TV 38.
Fenway Park, and in the absence of someone singing the national anthem, the crowd took it upon itself to sing it and got the biggest hand of the afternoon. Here's the Toronto starting lineup. Tony Fernandez at shortstop, Kelly Gruber at third base, Lloyd Mosby in center field, George Bell in left field, Jesse Barfield in right, Willie Upshaw at first base, Matt Stark, the catcher, Cecil Fielder, the designated hitter, and Garth Orge at second base. The Red Sox will have Wade Boggs at third base, Marty Barrett at second, Bill Buckner at first, Jim Rice in left, Don Baylor the hitter, Dwight Evans in right field, Dave Henderson in center, Mark Sullivan catching, and Spike Owen at shortstop. The umpiring crew will work this way. John Hirschbeck behind the plate, Rich Garcia at first base, Durwood Merrill at second, and Rick Reed calling the plays at third. They have now put the sign up here that Lee Greenwood, country and western singer, was caught in traffic and couldn't get here, and that's why he wasn't here to do the anthem. So the crowd filled in very admirably. Now we're taking a look at a replay of some of the players getting their rings. Wade Boggs starting it off as the lineup was being introduced a while back by Sherm Feller. And the guys that actually, with all the things that come with winning a pennant, Marty, I think the thing that most players want is that thing right there.
You bet it is. You bet. That's the biggest prize of all, perhaps.
Jim Ryan.
Bill Buckner, all those, with all the money and the endorsements of the fame and all the things. But the big ring is what they want, because so many players go through a whole career and don't have any.
Well, it's such a nice monument, Ned. It's something that you will cherish. It's something, the ultimate goal, of course, is to get to the World Series or whatever professional sport there is, you get to the end of it. But something that you carry with you, other than just that memory, enables you to look back on it so very long, is that ring. Your thoughts, and there'll be a lot of things that will happen, have happened in that World Series that you will forget about. But one thing about being there, when you have that ring to look at and for other people to notice, and it still happens daily, people see those big rings, they want to know something about them.
All right, the tipper and the filming of the pitch a little while ago. And we are ready, after all of this, for baseball, as Tip O'Neill shakes hands with Mark Sullivan, who caught the ceremonial first pitch. Well, it goes back away this day to a Saturday in October last year when Bruce Hurst brought the magic number down to 1 against this club. Remember that one?
Certainly did. There was some sky-high jumping going on in this ballpark, and it was just a question of time once that particular victory was turned in by Hurst and the Red Sox over these Toronto Blue Jays. Hurst, of course, being honored with the chance to work in the home opener today. He really kind of defied a lot of odds as far as left-handers were concerned. You look at those numbers there. The 13-8 mark, of course, could have been a lot better were it not for the groin injury that he suffered, missing quite a few starts in there. But the big thing about the left-handed pitcher working in Fenway Park, look at that earned run average, 2.99. Anytime that's under 3 for anybody, right-handed or left-handed, you've done quite a job. And, of course, the rest of his numbers outstanding with that 174 innings of work, giving up just 50 base on balls, was really, it just kind of, it worked in with the rest of the flow that went along with this ball club last year. They kept the ball out of play a lot because they struck out a lot of people, and they did not give a lot of extra base runners due to the few amount of base on balls that they allowed. You got to win when that happens.
Hurst's record against Toronto last year was that win in October, 1-0, and he has a 2-4 career mark against this ball club. This ball club, as we were mentioning earlier, certainly one to be factored in the American League East, with one of the most potent lineups, and also, I would say, the best outfield in baseball. All of them 27 years old, Bell, Mosby, and Barfield, and you've got to go a long way to get a trio that can equal that threesome right there.
Tony Fernandez.
Got to go somewhere to beat the shortstop, too. Tony Fernandez, who wore out the Red Sox last year, already is off to a good start with 5 hits and 13 times at bat. So we're ready for the first pitch in Fenway. It's a strike, and we're underway. One strike to Tony Fernandez. The sun trying to come out right now at an opportune moment as we start things this afternoon on opening day. The curve dropped over but low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Tony Fernandez is a switch hitter. He's 3 for 8 from the left side and 2 for 5 from the right side already. Down to Boggs. Oh, got it. 1. Fernandez, good man to keep off the bases.
17.
And Hurst kept him off. 1 down, and bringing up Kelly Gruber, the third baseman, who's 0 for 5 so far this season. Blue Jays had a wild one with the Cleveland Indians yesterday up in Toronto with two young fellas named Phil Necro and Steve Carlton doing the job on them. A few wins between those two. Both over 40 years old, both 300-game winners plus. And they said, from what I talked to Tom Cheek, the announcer for Toronto, that Carlton looked good.
Only had the one bad inning, and that wasn't really bad. That was in the ninth. I think he gave up a couple of hits, but it wasn't scored on. And that's something, 300-game winner. I think it's the first time it's ever happened.
Yeah, a tandem like that.
Tandem, 300-game winners working back-to-back in the same game.
Gruber pops it up to the right side. Buckner. Bill was expecting some reaction from the crowd, and he got it when he was introduced, but he is totally professional. He understands things.
I'm not sure it was so deserved, but I guess the old statement, and I can call it a cliche, I guess it is, you remembered only for the last play you make.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, well, what a year he had. Certainly were it not for his 102 RBI and his clutch hitting, although it took him a long time to get that average up to a respectable point, it certainly wouldn't have, I don't think last year would have been possible without his efforts.
He almost made yesterday possible with that 3-run double in Milwaukee.
Certainly did.
Here is center fielder Lloyd Mosby taking a tough strike from Hurst. Mosby, 5 hits and 13 times up already. He's got a home run. In fact, he hit the first home run in the American League. And in baseball yesterday, I think the opening day, he hit in the first inning. Toronto started a half hour ahead of Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going downhill in that department. Lloyd fouling it off.
For so many years in baseball, Cincinnati played a day before anybody else was allowed to play, and now they got everybody jumping on them. We jumped the gun on them last year in Detroit, if you remember.
Yep.
And
they didn't like it over there.
No, they're upset.
It used to be Cincinnati in the National League and Washington in the American would open on the same day, and nobody else played. Strike 3. Good pitch by Hurst. Lloyd Mosby caught looking. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bruce Hurst. We go to the bottom of the first, no score.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers, and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there.
And I won't stop till I'm the best, because I'm Avis.
What does it feel like to win megabucks? Megabucks. It makes you feel like a millionaire.
Enter the TV 38 home run sweepstakes and get a chance to win a pair of Red Sox tickets. Just send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard. The TV 38 home run sweepstakes, Box 500, Boston, Massachusetts, 02135.
This is worth the patch for 75 years for the old lady, too. Fenway Park, 75 years old this season. And there's the patch that the players will have on their shoulders. Wear it this year. Bottom of the first inning, no score. And for the Toronto Blue Jays to get there this year, this guy's got to have a good year, Dave Stieb.
He certainly does. He had his worst of all professional seasons for himself last year, and due to some bone chips in that elbow that he refuses quite yet to have any kind of operation done on to take care of that. Because of that problem, he worked to a 7-12 record last year and a very lofty and unbelievable 4.74 earned run average for Stieb. He was in 37 games, so the arm problem didn't cause him any particular problems there. But look at the hits given up an innings pitched. Now, that is not a Dave Stieb type year at all. The 239 hits in 205 innings. And, of course, the strikeout mark not there because he didn't have the good sharp slider to record a lot of them. Early part of the season, he accounted for a lot of soft curveballs. And that's usually not a strikeout pitch. You won't walk anybody with it, but you won't strike anybody out with it either.
He will face Wade Boggs, Marty Barrett, and Bill Buckner in the first. Sun out brightly now at Fenway Park to welcome the season. Boggs had a homer in Milwaukee yesterday. Another hit besides that. And he is 3 for 10 so far this season. A strike to him. Led the game yesterday in Milwaukee with the center field home run. Stieb drops it over there for a strike. Down to second base, Garth Orge. And one away. So Boggs becomes the first out. Stieb had a couple of fine years, won 17 games 2 years in a row, 1982 and 1983 for this ball club. 16-game winner in 1984 and 14 and 13 in 1985 when they took their division. Marty Barrett, 3 for 13. Strike one. Willie Upshaw is the first baseman. Garth Orge at second. Tony Fernandez at short. And Kelly Gruber at third for the Blue Jays. Bell, Mosby, and Barfield left to right in the outfield. And Matt Stark is the catcher.
Tomorrow I'll Be Perfect, the title of Dave Stieb's book. That came out last year in the midst of his having such a tough go of it.
Marty jumping back from a pitch in at the knees.
Well, here are a couple of players facing each other here, Stieb and Barrett, who are not liked by opponents, and it's because of their ability to get their jobs done. It's not a personal hate kind of thing. Opposing players hate Barrett because he's always getting the timely base hit.
He is tied up that time by Stieb, and he strikes out. So Barrett is gone.
This is a bad breaking ball from Stieb, and he gets away with it. If Marty didn't want to swing, it looked so good to break the ball hanging up there. It looked so very hittable. If it had broken, he probably would have put a pretty good swing on it and may have had something to hit. But as it was, kind of a backup breaking ball, and it just, Marty kind of jammed himself, really.
Here's Bill Buckner. Buck is 3 for 13 in the Milwaukee series. And ball one. Tigers are at Chicago this afternoon. Baltimore's at Cleveland in a later afternoon game. And the Cleveland opener, of course, when they will have 65,000 people or more. There's a strike to Buckner. Milwaukee's at Texas. The Yankees at Kansas City. So the Yankees open with 2 series on the road. Minnesota at Seattle and California at Oakland. Those last are night games. The Yankees at Kansas City, a night game. Buckner looks outside. National League, the Cardinals are at Pittsburgh this evening. Everything at night already in the National League. Atlanta at New York. Cubs are at Philadelphia. There's a good breaking pitch in the inside corner. And the count is 2-2. San Diego plays at Cincinnati, Montreal at Houston, and the Giants at L.A. tonight. Buckner fists it back foul. Stieb with a count of 2-2 to Buckner. No score, bottom of the first inning. sends it towards second and Garth Orge. And Stieb has a 1-2-3 inning. So after one inning of play, there's no score.
Bartender?
Yeah.
Give me a light.
A light?
Yeah.
Why, sure.
Oh, I've got it.
No, a Bud Light.
If you want the great taste of Bud Light, ask for it.
Bartender.
Yes?
Give me a, let's see, give me a Bud Light.
Everything else is just a light.
Nice call. Thanks.
How about an E? And a D? How about an S? And an O? What does it say? 1986 American League champion Red Sox!
The celebration continues. To order Nesson, call your local cable company today.
On the next MASH.
Be nice to him. Buddy up to him. Treat him like a pal.
With Hot Lips in Tokyo, Colonel Potter has a plan to mellow out Major Burns.
Why don't you get in the game with us?
Oh, thanks a lot. I know when I'm not wanted.
Now, come on, Frank. We really want you.
Me?
Yeah, come on, Frank.
You don't mind. Get Frank a drink, BJ.
Yes, sir. Park it right here.
Will being nice to Frank pay off, or will it kill everyone on MASH?
Moving to the top of the second inning in a scoreless game in the sun at Fenway. People looked as if they're painted in the seats. There's Oil Can Boyd. He's ready to go against the Texas Rangers when the Rangers come in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So the troops are all back with Hurst this afternoon, Clemens tomorrow, and Stanley on Sunday, and Boyd against Texas.
Number 11, George Bell.
George Bell leads it off. Starry left fielder for the Toronto Blue Jays. A lot of people don't like him either, but I can understand why pitchers don't like him. He's 5 for 11 this season so far. He joins Mosby and Barfield in that superb outfield that they have. And a strike to Bell, an off-speed pitch by Hurst.
That Toronto outfield can certainly put the squeeze on in a lot of ways. They can squeeze fly balls because they can flat shag them, and they can squeeze it with that bat.
Do it all. Bell with a big swing, fouling it back.
This matchup getting to be quite a rivalry, I think, Ned. Baltimore's kind of dropping by the side as far as the Red Sox are concerned. In a couple of instances in the past.
Foul ball, first base side.
Has turned this into a rivalry of rivalries, really.
Good. It's a good one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nearby, even though there's an international flavor to it, it is there. And both these clubs, of course, respected by quite a few other ball clubs around the league.
Bell goes. And Hurst has his second strikeout.
Bruce has complimented that good curveball of his, of course, with the split-fingered fastball, and George Bell gets just a dose of it here. Good. It's the good delivery. It's the good, strong delivery. The aggressive delivery, and then the good arm speed, but lack of velocity on the ball, and that's what gets those hitters out in front. Of course, that little down and turnover movement doesn't hurt anything either.
Here's a guy they're starting to call Mr. Canada. Jesse Barfield, the right fielder, can do it all, too. The right fielder last year hit .289, 40 home runs to lead it all, 108 runs batted in, 35 doubles. The rifle arm in right field. They give him that right field line. Dwight Evans is way over at the midpoint of the bullpens in right center. Jesse takes ball 3. Barfield so far this year, 4 hits and 10 times up. He's got a home run. Rips it to short. Owen has the ball skid away and does not get Barfield with the throw. Ball hit hard to shortstop, and Spike had it. Then it spun away from him. Barfield can move very well, so he's at first base. It's an error charged to Owen.
The ball was hit extremely hard, but it's right at Spike. He doesn't really have to make a lot of movement to his left to get this. All the infielders are on that side. That ball just simply hit off the fingers of the glove, and Spike couldn't handle it after that. Really no business making the throw on Barfield because his speed is a little past adequate to get him from home down to first.
Yeah, he'll make it. First baseman Willie Upshaw, 2 hits and 10 times up so far. Barfield back. Jesse stole 8 bases last year. Upshaw hit .251 last season, had 9 homers and 60 runs batted in. A couple of home runs this year already. His only 2 hits, and Hurst moving right nicely to first base. Barfield back.
Good throw has Barfield that time. Hurst throw a bit to the dugout side or inside of first base. Not many guys on this Toronto ball club that can't run, and not many of them that won't run.
Hurst with a little catch with Buckner. No score. 1 out in the second inning for Toronto. Barfield at first base. Very high to left field and shallow. Coming on, Jim Rice. 2 down. Hurst gets Upshaw. Now we'll face a new catcher, to our eyes anyway, over the years. Matt Stark, the catcher. We've seen so many games with Ernie Witt and Buck Martinez platooning for a lot of seasons. Matt Stark has had 1 hit in 5 times up in the Cleveland series. Good change that time by Hurst. Stark last year with Knoxville hit .295. 17 home runs, though, 72 RBIs. Exhibited some power for that club. Got him in the June 1983 free agent draft. Well, he started at Medicine Hat in the Pioneer League, Rookie League, and then Florence, South Carolina, and the South Atlantic 2 years, and 2 years for Knoxville, and they promoted him in December of last year. He's just 22 years old. Well, he's 23, January. 2 balls, 1 strike.
What a jump for a position player to miss AAA. Of course, Stark with a lot of tools offensively, and he'll be working with more of an experienced staff here in Toronto. It's not like he's young with a young group of pitchers.
He has a, he takes a little bucket foot there. When he takes his stance and his stretch, the foot goes out, which some hitters like the legendary Al Simmons could hit that way.
Willie Mays, too.
Yeah.
Willie Mays stepped in the third base dugout and hit it to right field.
Down to third and Boggs. Second, got him. Just got him. Not by much. Barfield is out, and that's all for the Blue Jays in the second. There was an error and 1 left, and after an inning and a half, no score.
Hey, one
Willard Scout here, welcoming you to the annual Potbelly Bake-Off, where your New England Ford dealer has cooked up an irresistible recipe for this specially equipped Ranger XLT, which saves you $1,300. First of all, a splash of two-tone paint. Aha! And then a few pounds of trim. And voila! Delicious. Serves thousands. And here's what's happening at your New England Ford dealers today.
Okay, Willard, now get 3.9% financing or $500 cash back. Hurry, offer ends April 30th.
Weeknights on TV 38 at the stroke of midnight, an hour of horror in the dead of night with Alfred Hitchcock presents Hurst at midnight and again at 12:30. Put an end to your day with 60 minutes of murder,
It's poison.
blackmail, mystery, and foul deeds. Better late than ever. Alfred Hitchcock presents weeknights at 12 and 12:30 here on WSBK TV 38.
Hi, I'm Wade Boggs, inviting you to come to Fenway Park on opening weekend, Saturday and Sunday, April 11th and 12th, and receive a Red Sox Budweiser calendar. The calendar is filled with Red Sox action photos, plus a 1987 schedule, so you can follow the team at home and on the road. And this will be a great souvenir for the 1987 season. Don't forget, opening weekend, 11th and 12th, Saturday and Sunday, when we take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Make it a date. Get your free, colorful Red Sox Budweiser calendar. See you there.
Red Sox coming up in the second inning with Rice, Baylor, and Evans facing Dave Stieb. First of three with Toronto and the first of a 6-game homestand for the Red Sox. The Texas Rangers coming on in next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons. Funny kind of schedule the Red Sox have. It's not the greatest early. They open in Milwaukee. They open on the road for the second straight year. They do have a nice homestand here against Toronto and Texas. Then they go away to Toronto for 4 games. They come home against Kansas City for 3, and then they go on the road to the West Coast for the rest of the month. So they won't be here at Fenway very often in April. Jim Rice. 3 hits, 13 times up so far. Including a big off-field double in Milwaukee yesterday. It was really hit hard to right. Breaking pitch, strike 1.
Here's a matchup that's a classic one. Stieb has a tough time getting Rice out consistently. Rice knows that, and so does Stieb.
Good fastball fouled back by Jim that time. 0-2.
One funny thing about the game of baseball is how the pitcher-hitter relationship is so funny. You give some hitters, you just can't get them out.
That ball hit hard and deep towards center field. Way back and gone. Home run. And Fred Lawton of West Falmouth, Massachusetts, is another winner in the TV 38 home run sweepstakes. 1-0 Boston. Boy, did he give that a ride.
Yeah, Stieb knows it, Rice knows it, and Stieb knows that Rice knows it. Oh, that ball tried to sink, and Rice just wouldn't let it sink. He got the head of the bat out just as that ball started to turn over and put a little uplift on it. See you later.
That first one always feels good like that. Don Baylor's up. Count on him as 2 strikes. Baylor has 1 hit in 11 times up and had a rough time in the Milwaukee series, striking out a batch of times. He's been very tentative with the bat and going after pitches and holding back. Fouls that one off to the right side. Count on Don is a ball and 2 strikes. A ball and a strike. Comes in on him, and they call a strike on that one. The 1-2 count. That ball was called by the first base umpire, and he went around. So it's a strikeout on Baylor.
This is the pitch that Stieb had intended for Rice. The good movement here, working down and in. Baylor could not pull the pole back in time. On the appeal play, they'll go to Rich Garcia down at first. And immediately the right hand goes up, and Stieb has his second strikeout.
So Baylor is down and Evans is on. Dwight off to a good start in the 3-game set in Milwaukee. 5 hits and 11 times up. Ball 1. Red Sox lead 1-0 on the Rice home run. Dwight all the way around. Back here. Ball and 2 strikes to Evans. And that makes it a 2-2 count. Evans is down on strikes. Tried to check off his swing, but went for a slider, and that's 3 strikeouts for Dave Stieb.
Stieb in his first start of the year showing a lot sharper slider than we saw the most of last year. And because of that, it's causing right-handed hitters problems once again. It's such a good slider. It's such a quick breaking slider that you are committed, and all of a sudden it's gone. Well out of the strike zone usually.
Big hand for Dave Henderson. The folks remembering the blow in Anaheim last year. And several subsequent blows that he had in the playoffs and World Series. Dave has a home run this year. His only hit, actually, in the Milwaukee series was the home run yesterday. The Red Sox have 4 homers now with Rice's blow. Henderson, Boggs, and Schaefer. Breeze has picked up a little bit. It's blowing in from the flagpole toward the right field line, or a second toward first wind. Yeah, it's very pretty right now around Fenway for opening day. A lot of times we've had other than ideal weather for openers here.
A lot of sunny skies, but not necessarily sunny temperatures.
Yeah.
We're 72. We open with the Yankees here. Played a nice, beautiful afternoon game. Beat them like 23-2 or something like that, and had 3 inches of snow that night. Didn't play any more in that series.
Fly ball, right field, and Barfield. So after the homer by Rice, Stieb settles down and gets the next 3, 2 on strikes. After 2 innings of play, though, the Red Sox lead 1-0.
If you just ask for a light beer...
give me a light.
You never know what you'll get.
Bud Light.
Nice shot.
Heads up.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
I realized something when I started Sullivan Tire many years ago. It wasn't enough to offer the best parts and tires. My customers expected more. They wanted to walk into a Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Center and be helped with personal family service.
At any of our locations, you will be treated with our family spirit, because that's what Sullivan Tire is all about.
Now, Goodyear Vector white walls on sale, only $49.95 for the P155 80R13.
The game is on TV 38.
The game is on TV 38.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Red Sox and TV 38 and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Red Sox or TV 38 is prohibited.
Center field can hurt you so many times in this ballpark, as Rice will prove here. Good solid swing, short stroke, quick stroke. And that's one thing that Rice has really worked on a lot this spring in hopes of once again cutting down even more on his strikeouts. He did that considerably in 1986, and of course you know that paid off with a lofty .324 average and only 20 home runs though, but
still had those RBIs.
He's going to drive in 110. We're doing to make if he hits 20 or 30.
Cecil Fielder, the designated hitter, is up for Toronto. 0 for 4 so far this season. Lunges at that Hurst pitch. Red Sox leading 1-0 on the Jim Rice homer. We're in the top of the third. Last time that Hurst pitched was back in Saturday. Went 7 innings down in Florida. And that was the highest number of innings the Red Sox pitcher had gone in spring training.
He's done a bit of throwing, of course, between Saturday and his actual start here today. And one of 2 pitches certainly on your ball club that could go that long and not worry about them having a control struggle would be Hurst. Clemens the other.
There's a beauty. Breaking ball. Gone for Fielder. So there's 1 away, and that's 3 strikeouts for Hurst.
Before it was a split-fingered fastball to get the strikeout. Now, as a right-hander, you can't protect against both of them. And Hurst drops over the big bender there. And Fielder caught looking. Number 3 for Bruce.
Now he's about on target so far.
I don't think Orge, he can't get the weight ring off his bat. I think that's the problem he's having. There you are. Give it to the manager. He's got all the answers. Jimmy Williams got it off there. One little tap.
Tend to be a bit cumbersome if you leave them on the bat and walk up there.
Well, I felt like I had one on there all the time anyway. The swing looked like it.
That's why everything went to right field.
Everything.
Garth Orge, who has been a valuable member of this cast for a number of years, has platooned at third base with Rance Mullenix for a while. He can play second. Gets that crouch, and there's a strike. Orge has been up 1 time this year without a hit. Check swing foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Garth. Brother named Dane Orge that played in the National League. Ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, 3rd inning. They bunched Orge up in right center field. That's about where he hits it, only to right field. Kind of stuck the bat out there. He's got himself a base hit. Orge on with a 1-out single. First Toronto hit.
Didn't mean to, but certainly likes the results. Once again, Hurst made a pretty good pitch. That ball just started to work down and away, and Orge literally just stuck the bat out there. That ball happened to hit the bat. Or Orge was looking for a walk back to the dugout.
Tony Fernandez grounded to third in the 1st inning. There's his career against Boston. Not too shabby, 358.
I don't think they've ever gotten him out when he hit left-handed, have they?
Uh-uh. Orge will move back with the throw over there. Right on that corner for a strike. Whole raft of airplanes flying around with advertisements today. Being invaded. Little sliced foul ball down into the crowd on the first base side. 0-2 to Fernandez.
Now you've got it right. That's the right sign.
Mm-hmm.
Northampton, Mass. Oh, what a beautiful part of the state that is.
You bet. Tomorrow afternoon, it's Roger Clemens against Jimmy Key in a 1 o'clock game. Sunday, Bob Stanley goes against Jim Clancy in a good matchup. Slowly hit to Owen. Barrett, safe at first base. They get the force on Orge. Just didn't develop enough of a, wasn't hard hit enough to double up Fernandez.
The Red Sox had turned the double play on this ball here. It would have been Fernandez's fault. This ball too slowly hit. They do a good job of getting the front man, and Marty really pushes it, rushes it, gets off a good throw, but Fernandez just too fast on that slowly hit ball. Manager would question his batter runner, in this case Fernandez, were he to get double up on that particular
I was surprised
play.
it was that close.
Even that
really.
close, that's true.
Here's Kelly Gruber, who fouled out his first time. Fernandez running at first base. 2 down. Big rip that time by Gruber.
A lot of baseball people, Ned, think that Kelly Gruber is maybe starting into a spot this year in his career to become a pretty good player, one that they think he can become. Oh, what a wild swing he had at that good, tough, working down and away pitch from Hurst. Versatile is Gruber.
He'll bend it in there for a strike 2. 0-2 to Gruber.
Play some second base for you. Could play short in an emergency. I would imagine, though, you'll see Gruber and Mullenix doing quite a bit of the work around third, although Gruber could be available, as I said, to move to other spots in the infield.
Fernandez at first. He stole 25 bases last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gruber. Red Sox 1, Toronto 0, top of the third.
This spot here that managers like to get the hitters off the hook. The 1 and 2 count. Fernandez certainly a threat to steal the base.
There he goes. Nice throw down there. Sully gets it. Sullivan to Barrett. And they get Fernandez to end the inning. Nobody left on base. And after 2.5, it's 1-0 Boston.
For years, life west of 128 was slow and peaceful. Then more people moved in. High tech brought even more growth. Today, life in Metro West is moving faster than ever before, and there's only one way to keep pace with it. The new Middlesex News, a new paper with a new focus, life in Metro West. The new Middlesex News. It's all about you, Metro West.
With performance radials, gas shocks, and fuel injection, the Celebrity Eurosport has many of the same features of the high-priced German road cars, except one, their high price. Every 34 seconds, somebody buys a new Chevy Cavalier. In fact, before this day is through, over 1,000 people will drive away in new Cavaliers. There goes another one.
This is Jack Klugman, next on Quincy.
Will somebody get a bat?
I'm sorry. Shall I begin, Doctor?
I'm right. You might be saving the company $2 million.
In this case, there's no reason to suspect anything.
You want to know how big a business insurance fraud is?
Some maniac murdered him Friday night.
Murdered? A horse vet?
Accusing him of murder?
Please, let her go! Please!
Manager Jimmy Williams opting to run Fernandez, but Hurst moves so very good to first base. Fernandez almost had acted as if it was a delayed steal. Sullivan with time makes a good strong throw. Here comes Barrett with the sweeping tag. And Fernandez is caught stealing, out 2-4.
Nice throw on the money by this man, Mark Sullivan. Sullivan 2 for 7 in the Milwaukee series. He caught 2 of the 3 games. Of course, a nice break-in for Danny Schaefer yesterday afternoon, catching and getting his first major league hit, a single, then getting a home run a couple of times at bat later. Sullivan had a fine spring. There it goes, high and deep and gone. Way up on the light standard for a home run. 2-0 Boston. Mark Sullivan's first of the year. And Mary Sullivan of Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts is another winner in the TV38 home run sweepstakes.
They want Mark to become more aggressive, and of course, Tip O'Neill very much in agreement with that. Boy, I guess aggressive is right. I had a nice ride on the airplane last night. I sat beside Mark. He says, I have some things that I feel like that I can prove, and I want to prove. He says, I can play. Well, I guess he's taken advantage of his opportunities to play, certainly with that particular good swing, and it was a good one. Another short, quick swing. The clean Ed ball working. Pitch was working toward him, and he again would not let it get in there.
Red Sox play a little long ball. They lead 2-0 on home runs. Here's Spike Owen. Well, that ball was clocked. Nothing in 1 to Owen, who's looking for his first hit of the season. A breaking pitch by Stieb. 2 strikes. Spike is 0 for 8. Ball and 2 strikes to Owen. Boggs on deck. Foul. Still 1-2. On the outside corner, and Owen is down. 4th strikeout for Stieb.
Boy, Stieb has made some awfully good pitches to mix in with a couple of those home runs he's given up. That sinker working down and away. Something not new for Stieb to use that pitch, but maybe not use it quite as much as we've seen here today.
Wade Boggs. Strike 1. Boggs grounded to second base in the first. Down to short to Fernandez. Slings it. Boggs is out. A pause here for a station break on the TV38 Red Sox Network.
This is TV38, WSBK TV, Boston.
Marty Barrett is the batter. Here's that championship flag up there, starting to get a little of that wind in its sails, and looks pretty good. Looks darn good, as a matter of fact.
Those flags are hard to come by. Believe me.
They are.
Hard to come by.
Got a few other people trying to take them away from you. Marty Barrett went down swinging in the first inning. 2 outs now, and the Red Sox third. They lead 2-0. Home runs by Jim Rice and Mark Sullivan. Strike one from Stieb. Well, Dave has had a kind of a funny first 9 or 10 batters. He's 2 home runs and 4 strikeouts. He's gone from one to the other. Marty has a 3 for 14 record right now at the plate in this early season. Fastball straightens him up a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike. Take a look at around the grounds here at Fenway and see what a fine job Joe Mooney and his group have done. Fouls the slider, 2-2. They have had an awful lot of work to do because of the terrible winter and the awful rains that they just had. They were working right up to almost first pitch time to get this field going. They still have some ice frozen around the drains in the outfield, and they have really done a job to get this place ready for baseball. After it was almost underwater with those rains. Marty fouls it off and stays in with a 2-2 count. The winter was a rough one with the snows and the cold. Got rid of that, and then the rains came. Plus the fact they couldn't get started on the field until about November because of the playoffs and the series. 2-2 to Barrett. Missing high, ball 3. Full count. Barrett backs out on Stieb now.
I think the airplanes are bothering Marty just a little. I noticed him that quick peek in the sky.
Ball 4. So Barrett wangles the walk, and the 2 outs, 1 on, and Buckner will be up. That's the first walk given up by Stieb. Buckner grounded to second base in the first. Breezing and ball 1. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Toronto. Early on this afternoon. Will tease some throws over there. His club, of course, does not run much, and Barrett was the leading base stealer last year. Buckner goes toward left field. George Bell. That takes care of the Red Sox in the third. They get a run on the lead homer by Sullivan, and after 3 innings of play, they lead Toronto 2-0.
Why is grass green?
Because of chlorophyll, honey.
Dad,
Yep.
is the moon really made of cheese?
Oh, son, the moon is made from molecules.
Dad, the 9X Yellow Pages has always had more information than any competing directory. Why would anyone need another? Dad?
The 9X Yellow Pages. It's the one you've always had. It's the only one you need.
It was so simple. Really, a direct electrical charge here heats up the carbonized filament here, which in turn excites the gases trapped in here. And
voila! Well, it's very nice, Thomas. But I wanted a Bud Light.
If you want the great taste of Bud Light, ask for it.
Don't feel bad, Thomas. It's not a complete loss.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
The camera follows every move of Albert Brooks' family in the hilarious Real Life. Tonight at 8 on the Movie Loft, right here on WSBK TV 38.
The 1987 official Red Sox yearbook is now available. The biggest and best ever yearbook celebrates the American League champion Red Sox and the 75th anniversary of Fenway Park. To order by mail, send $5 to Yearbook, Box 1616, Boston, Mass. 02130. At the end of 3, the Red Sox lead Toronto 2-0 on home runs by Jim Rice and Mark Sullivan, and very effective pitching by Bruce Hurst as we move to the 4th. Monty?
Been very Bruce Hurst type of pitching, hasn't it, Ned? He just around that plate consistently so far, striking out 3 Toronto Blue Jay batters, 2 of them caught looking, Mosby and Cecil Fielder. He'll be Kelly Gruber, Lloyd Mosby, and George Bell to face Hurst here in the 4th. Gruber, of course, left standing at the plate as Fernandez was caught stealing, so that's the idea of the manager. You either try to get that runner in scoring position for a possible knock, or you get your hitter off the hook. Well, he's right back on it again, 0-2. Matter of fact, he's 1 pitch worse. When he was left standing, he was 1-2. Red Sox very normal for Gruber. Straight away, fanned out. Cruz just misses up and away. Toronto Ball Club really had a few problems with some right-handed hitters. Most of the right-handers they have are the ones you see in that lineup today. Hit hard, but Owen is there at short. Easy play for the Red Sox shortstop, and there's one down. General manager of the Blue Jays, Pat Gillick, tried so very hard over the course of the winter to get them a strong right-handed bat that they could do some platooning with or use as a designated hitter or off the bench. Boy, their efforts just went without any results. The only right-handed batter, for example, they have today is Mike Sharperson, who is a light-hitting infielder.
That's why the Blue Jays kept getting Cliff Johnson back all the time.
That was it.
It was perfect for that for a while.
Well, he played out his string with the Blue Jays, and they finally clipped it. Here's the center fielder, Lloyd Mosby. Hurst caught him looking at a strike in the 1st inning. Hurst retired the Blue Jays in order in the 1st. Boston leading 2-0. Good breaking ball in. 1-1. Hurst 8-3 last year at Fenway. You think that 2.99 earned run average for the year was good? His Fenway earned run average was 2.37. So you can throw away that old thing about left-handers winning in Fenway.
Yeah, I think they threw that away a long time ago. I mean, some people kept thinking that, and some pitchers couldn't win here, but
Earl Weaver would set his rotation up so that Cuellar and McNally would not pitch in this ballpark ever, and he would usually be successful. Even when they were 20 and 22 games ahead, he would come in here and those left-handers wouldn't pitch. Maybe they had something to do with that, though.
Stengel never wanted Ford to pitch here either.
Mosby is caught looking. That's the 2nd time on him. Good, tough pitch by Hurst, and that's number 4 for the left-hander.
Two pitchers putting on a strikeout clinic here, each having 4. This is a real mean pitch by Hurst. Just snipping right off that outside edge, almost on the black, so close to being between a ball and a strike.
2 up, 2 down quickly in the 4th inning. Here's the left fielder, George Bell. Hurst with a heater up out of the strike zone, 1-0. Hurst, of course, perfect in postseason play, all but perfect. Won 3 games while losing none. Shallow fly ball, a little deeper than thought. Henderson near the warning track now and puts it away. It's a very easy inning for Bruce Hurst. Bottom of the 4th coming up from Fenway on the home opener, and the Red Sox lead Toronto 2-0.
Jeep Cherokee has just been reborn. It can now be ordered with a 4-liter, 6-cylinder, 173-horsepower engine. Nothing in Cherokee's class even comes close. In fact, with this engine and a choice of 2 or 4 doors and 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, you could say nothing's in Cherokee's class.
Stick with my team, the New England AMC Jeep Renault dealers. You can't miss.
I was 10 years old when I built my first model plane. I thought it was fantastic. Flew all of about 5 feet the first time out, but that was enough. I knew then I wanted to fly forever. It's a feeling, it gets into your blood. And after 20 years of flying with Delta, it's still there. Hey, I may never get you to feel the way I do about flying, but sure would like to try.
Delta gets you there. We get you there with care.
Weeknights on Barney Miller. It's the best laughs lineup in town.
I want that man in jail, and I'm not afraid of reprisal.
Oh, who would want to reprise you?
When can I get out of here? My time is valuable.
Cash is out.
Not like her.
Very well put. What's wrong with a gay cop? They're gay robbers. My very word.
Watch Barney Miller weeknights at 7:30 here on TV 38.
Red Sox baseball coming up on television. The Red Sox against these Toronto Blue Jays Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then from Toronto's Exhibition Stadium next week, Thursday night at 7:30 and Sunday afternoon at 1:30 over most of these stations, so check your local listings. Looking at Stieb and the home run swing of Mark Sullivan. Boy, he got a pitch to hit and nailed it. Short. It was almost crowded himself, and he had enough power to get that ball up and pull it, clear it out nicely, and it went halfway up the light standard.
That's where the short swing pays off, Ned. If you have a long swing in that position, that ball jams you, and you just don't get the head of the bat out. Here's a home run hitter, Jim Rice up. Breaking ball low from Dave Stieb. Boston leading 2-0 over the Blue Jays on solo homers, one by Rice in the 2nd, and the other by Mark Sullivan leading off the 3rd inning. Bouncing ball toward the middle. Great play by Orge. Up the middle, he went to the backhand, and the quarterback jump pass type throw over to Upshaw was in time. 1 down.
Orge hit that tight end coming across very well with his pass. That ball was pretty well hit. It was on its way to center, and Orge had to make the play this way. Hardly any lost motion, and a fine, good throw to Upshaw.
Don Baylor, first ball hitting. Fernandez at shortstop. Low throw, but Upshaw there with it clean, and is 2 down quickly.
24. Right at him. Right field, Lemon.
There's Gruber, or rather Orge, up in the air again on that play that he made on Rice. It's a major league play there.
Indeed. So the bottom of the 4th moving along just about like the top of the 4th. 2 outs quickly, nobody on. Here's Dwight Evans. You know, the 20 home runs that Rice hit last year, 13 of them were against right-handers. Mark Sullivan's homer leading off the 3rd inning today, his first off a right-hander in the big leagues. curve dropped over to Evans. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kind of surprising that Rice would hit more off right-handers than left-handers, and especially in this ballpark. But Armas also had the mark of hitting more off right-handers than left-handers. Evans fouls it straight back just below us and off the facing of our booth.
Nice move.
It's a full count now to Dwight Evans. Red Sox with a nice combination of Evans and Boggs as the walking duo. Right around that 100 mark all the time. And there's ball 4 to Dwight. That's the second base on balls that Dwight has picked up this year. And he's narrowing down now a career high mark for him. He needs just 8 more base on balls now for 1,000 career. Not many years in his career you won't find him right around that 100 mark, 90 to 100, sometimes over 100 in base on balls. Henderson first ball hunting, Gruber at third. On the fielder's choice, Evans is forced at second, and the Red Sox are retired. No hits, no runs, 1 left, and after 4 innings of play in this home opener, it's Boston 2 and Toronto nothing.
Bartender? Yeah. Give me a light.
A light?
Yeah.
Why, sure.
Oh, I've got it.
No, a Bud Light.
If you want the great taste of Bud Light, ask for it.
Bartender.
Yes?
Give me a... Oh, let's see. Give me a Bud Light.
Everything else is just a light.
Nice call. Thanks.
Hi, Rich Hall here. Party crashing. I see you guys are having fun with these new Flintstone kids glasses you can get at Pizza Hut for 49 cents each. I really love that Freddy glass, Ryan.
Dabba dabba doo!
What do you think, Renee? Pretty bedrock, huh?
No, real bedrock.
What's your favorite glass, Patrick?
Wilbur!
Pizza Hut has a different glass every week, so at 49 cents each, Mom and Dad, you could collect all 4 for your kids. Any comments?
Saturday night at 6.
Boy, it's going to be busier than a ladies' room on nickel beer night.
You've got a date with It's a Living.
I got this hot date tonight. Got anything back there to help get her in the mood? Phone number of another guy?
Next at 6:30, Vicki Lawrence in Mama's Family.
The cat's out of the bag now.
Oh, are we going to have fun?
Next at 7, Danny Thomas has one big family.
You know what they call a father who doesn't make mistakes? What? A bachelor.
Saturday nights here on TV 38.
A nice view of Fenway Park from high atop by our camera position over above third base. On this opening day, Bruce Hurst right now and very much in command. There's your tomorrow afternoon starter, Roger Clemens. We'll be working for the Red Sox. We'll be having that game for you actually on the New England Sports Network throughout New England. It'll be the first competitive work for Roger in quite some time other than his dealings against the Harvard's varsity down in Florida. Mr. Martin.
Jesse Barfield leading off ahead of the first pitch by Bruce Hurst, and it's strike 1. Barfield reached on Owen's error in the second inning. That's deceptive average, 251 lifetime against Boston, but you do see that he has hit 11 home runs against Red Sox pitching. A 1-1 count to Jess. Barfield, Upshaw, and Stark will be up this inning. Red Sox leading 2-0 on the homers by Rice and Sullivan. Hurst has allowed just 1 hit. There it comes. There it goes. And that came in and out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stieb has given just those 2 hits. The home runs have been the only hits that Stieb has given. Fine pitching duel so far today. A little bit different from what we have seen in Milwaukee. Fisted toward short. Owen gets him, and Barfield is out. Bruce has come in very effectively on right-handed hitters so far today, which you have to do. Willie Upshaw flied to left field in the second.
There'll be some bad news for pitchers in the American League this year. They want Upshaw to pull the ball more once again.
He does this time, but to second. Marty Barrett. Willie scooting down the line. He's out. 2 down.
Cito Gass, the batting coach for the Blue Jays, kind of admitted that possibly they made a mistake with Upshaw having him go to the opposite field so much. Boy, he did pull that ball there to Barrett. It had some steam on it. Upshaw's already with the 2 homers. Last year it took him well, he hit his first one fairly early in the season, and 58 games later he hit his second one.
He's got too much good power to try to harness it and singling the other way. There's a pop-up by Stark into shallow right. Evans and Barrett. Evans with it. And Hurst has another 1-2-3 inning. Rocking chair. And after 4.5, it's 2-0 Boston.
I hate getting ripped off.
Me too.
I went where they said the muffler would be $18. But no, for your car, the muffler will be more. Pay more, Simon, more.
Midas-size your muffler because Midas gets it right the first time. And that includes the estimate.
I should have come here the first time instead of trying to cut corner.
Right now, buy 1 shock or strut and get 50% off the second one. Midas-size.
When you've got a big job to do, you're ready to move up to the limousine of lawn tractors, Snapper, with tilt steering, bucket seat, high-back mowing action, and smooth on-the-go shifting with disc drive. With Snapper riding mowers, you'll discover rugged dependability and more innovative features. It's no wonder Snapper is America's #1 choice in rear-engine riders. Join the millions of satisfied Snapper users.
Special spring savings going on now. Snapper dealers are in your yellow pages under lawnmowers.
You're a darling, you're an angel, and I love you. But you always get me steamed somehow. You just gotta stop before I blow my top. One of these days, right in the kisser! One of these days.
The Honeymooners, weeknights at 10 and 10:30, here on TV 38.
In the Red Sox 5th inning, they lead 2-0. It'll be Mark Sullivan, Spike Owen, and Wade Boggs up against Dave Stieb on a fine baseball day to open it in Fenway. Flag flying below the American flag now, the pennant flag. Players got their rings. Their folks have welcomed them home, and they're ready to defend. 75th anniversary of Fenway Park also.
Hey, it's not a pose and shit right here. Let's go.
The grand old lady of Fenway has held many an afternoon tea party in this ballpark, in this area, and also some night parties. Here's Sullivan. Breaking pitch, ball 1. Mark laced one halfway up the light standard in left for the homer. He had an opportunity, and he took advantage of it this spring. He came right from day 1 to work. They kind of installed him as the #1 catcher, but he says, I'm not really that way until I earn the job. And he worked very, very hard to earn it. The fastball, ball 3. Backed up some fine bat work by Dave Sachs. And then we saw yesterday Danny Schaefer came on, caught the game, hit a home run. There was no word at all on Rich Gedman, except that in Milwaukee, one of the pregame shows that John McNamara said would love to have him back. Fly ball, right field, Jesse Barfield. And Sullivan is out, one away.
7.
New protector that Mark has been wearing while he is batting. As a matter of fact, he spent quite a bit of his morning in the clubhouse talking with 2 or 3 different equipment manufacturers, trying to get something designed so that he can be a little more at ease both while batting and catching. I think he's got his shin guard situation pretty well straightened out. That long extra piece of flap that's on there on the shin guard.
Spike Owen, strike 1. Owen was called out on strikes in the 3rd. He was the 4th strikeout for Stieb. Now the wind has turned around a little bit and it's blowing out. It's kind of an inviting wind for a while. Peeled foul. 0-2, but you got the straight out home plate to center field wind. Unfurling the flags out there as things have changed a little bit. Out of play. Count hangs at 2 strikes to Owen. Spike goes high to shallow left. Bell coming on. Fernandez there, and Fernandez cuts in front of Bell. I think both of it kind of argue a little bit. Hey, where you didn't? Why don't you yell? Something happened. Tony Fernandez made the catch. Bell was there. Almost collided with him. Well, Bell gets involved again, this time with a teammate.
Fairly strong personality, of course, in George Bell. Fernandez, that's a little bit of a flare-up I don't think I would expect to see from him. But, boy, there's a flare-up after this for sure.
There's a drive to left center by Boggs. It hangs up and off the wall. He will go for 2. Here comes the throw. Head first double. Wade Boggs with a 2-base hit. Boy, there's a picture that you'll see you could tape and play a number of times in any season here at Fenway Park.
Wade realizes the value of this ballpark to his batting style, and that was one reason that contract was very well accepted and taken by him. It was sought for, the length of it. And he's pretty confident that he doesn't want to play anyplace else, and I'm sure that he's quite happy to be able to take advantage of that left field wall, because that stroke, it just sets it up so nicely for him.
That was the 3rd Red Sox hit. They haven't hit a single yet. Marty Barrett is up trying to pick up Boggs with 2 outs in the 5th. Boston leading 2-0. Ball 1. Barrett struck out in the 1st and drew a walk in the 3rd. Mosby in right center, moving well off his position on Barrett. They bunch him that way. Watch out. He is hit by a pitch. Marty is on. Stieb nails him.
That pitch was almost behind Marty. Not much, just a little quick glance. That ball is headed right at the 7.
Well, boy, he shook that off in a hurry and went down the line.
One reason these two teams don't get along, actually Toronto don't get along with each other. A little quick glance at first by Marty, and then right on to first base. That'll be filed away.
Runners at 1st and 2nd now, and Buckner up. Bill is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and flied to left. There's a shot into right field for a hit. Charged by Barfield. Here comes Boggs. He'll score. Barfield back to second base. 3-0 Boston. Bill Buckner knocks in the run.
That's an even better way to answer the hit batsman if it were on purpose, or even if it weren't, is to set yourself up to keep the inning alive. Stieb rather pitched to the left-hander than the right-hander. Well, it's going to cost him a run, at least one run here, as Boggs scores the third Red Sox run of the afternoon. They got to give Boggs a lot of credit, keeps the inning alive. Fairly easy inning running for Stieb, and all of a sudden, he's given up a run and still in a fairly deep hole.
And he's done it himself. Hit by Buckner was the first Red Sox single. Jim Rice is up. The breaking pitch, ball 1. Red Sox lead 3-0. Ron Musselman warming in the bullpen. Jeff Musselman. Where did I get Ron?
He pitches for somebody else, I think.
Or it was somebody. Yeah. Jeff Musselman in the bullpen. Stieb running into a little foul weather here in the 5th inning. Keeps it away from Rice and nips the corner for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rice has homered and grounded to second. Garth Orge made a good play on him in the 4th inning. And he fouled. No, he missed it. Strike 3, and the inning is over as Stieb comes in on Rice after working him away and strikes him out. But the Red Sox pick up another run, and after 5, they lead 3-0.
This bud's for all that you do.
Could be any time now. I'll call you back.
A friend is counting on you.
No, Bill had to leave. Can I help you? We need copies by 4:30.
I'll cover it for him. Hey, Chester. Is this Bill's first? Well?
Not a word.
You see a new beginning. Now is your finest inning. Your friends make it better by pulling together. You share the pride of winning. You make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
Here he comes.
All right. This bud's for you.
Hi, I'm Johnny Pesky. Fenway Park holds great memories for both me and baseball fans throughout New England. On April 20th, we're officially celebrating the 75th anniversary of Fenway. Each fan attending the Red Sox game that day will receive a colorful folder depicting the 75-year history of Fenway and the Red Sox. So come out to Fenway Park on Patriots Day, April 20th, see the Red Sox take on the Kansas City Royals,
and receive your anniversary folder sponsored by Chevrolet.
Toronto coming up in the 6th inning, and the Red Sox leading 3-0. The Blue Jays haven't scored for a long time against Bruce Hurst. In that September 27th game when they clinched a tie when he beat them, he shut them out that day. 6-hitter, 2-0. Leads now 3-0. And there's a high pop-up by fielder Marty Barrett. Cecil Fielder, first ball hitting, pops up. There's only been 1 hit off Hurst. A single by Garth Orge, and that was a check swing sort of thing in the 3rd inning. Went into right field. It was a clean base hit.
Second base.
And Orge is up now. Ball one. Boy, he unhinged himself on that one. Jumped at it, and it's 1-1.
Hurst again once using the advantage of the split-fingered fastball. Everything is there. The delivery's there. Everything is right on. The arm speed is there, and then he just kind of pulls the string on you.
To shortstop Owen. 2 out. Hurst has taken 9 in a row down, and he faces the top of the order here, Tony Fernandez. He has grounded to third and had a fielder's choice and then was out stealing. And a strike.
Wasn't Tony Fernandez one of the, well, a little more than handfuls of players who were dissatisfied with their contracts tendered, and didn't he set out spring training for a couple of days?
Yeah, he did. A couple of those people did.
Things straightened away for him. Wally Joyner, McCaskill, a couple of the others.
Saw more of that this year than we've seen in a long time. Of course, with outstanding results in some cases. 0-2 to Tony Fernandez, the switch hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Red Sox are leading 3-0. Toronto batting in the 6th inning.
I think Fernandez would be out if Hurst could throw that pitch just a little longer in the air, but down in the same area.
He punches one into right, and that's going to fall for the base hit. Fernandez gets the 2nd Toronto hit.
They had him tied up. They were downstairs and in, but Fernandez, with a good pair of quick hands, able to get those hands in close to the body and just literally fight that ball off and punch it out into right field. Certainly no authority behind that swing. I'm sure Fernandez would have been happy to have just fouled that pitch off.
Here's Kelly Gruber. Fouled out and grounded out. Left side, Boggs has it. Gets Fernandez at second. Good play by Wade as the ball threatened to go by him, and he held on to it. And threw to Barrett to get the force on Fernandez. 1 hit and 1 left, and after 5.5, Boston leads 3-0.
Years ago, what we all believed was that Fred Lynn and Jim Rice were going to the Hall of Fame and that Dwight Evans should be traded for Bert Blyleven, or anyone who could pitch. Don Zimmer, who always stuck by Evans, once wanted to trade him for a pitcher named Chris Knapp. Last winter, Lou Gorman tried to trade him to Kansas City. But this past World Series underlines something that's never really been appreciated around here. That Dwight Evans stands as one of the best who ever played in Boston. He's been in 2 World Series and has been their best all-around player in each. Only Yastrzemski and Williams have played more games in a Red Sox uniform. No one has won more Gold Gloves for defensive excellence, and since he fell under the tutelage of Walter Riniak, Evans has been one of the dominant players of the 80s, one of the top 4 American leaguers in homers, runs, and runs produced for the decade, with never a mention of all his adversity.
Commentaries are personal viewpoints and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of WSBK TV. Whether you agree or disagree, write to us. We want to know what you think.
10:30, right here on WSBK TV 38.
A reminder, the tickets for Red Sox home games are on sale at the Red Sox ticket office at 4 Yawkey Way, Fenway Park. Stop by Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9:30 to 2. To order tickets by phone, you call 617-267-1700 and charge your tickets to any major credit card. George, come home.
I like the glasses in the flipped-up position.
We thought we saw some weird ones in Milwaukee, man.
What if you have to get an estimate for that before you can get it worked on?
This needs a good 3-day rain. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox leading 3-0 over Dave Stieb, and Don Baylor is up. That is out of play. Baylor has struck out and grounded to short. Sharp breaking pitch by Stieb. 0-2.
Well, I think by design, Stieb uses the inside corner of that plate on occasion with breaking balls. He throws so many in there, and I know he could not make that many mistakes. Ferguson Jenkins did it.
Shows him a fastball up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
In hopes of getting the hitter and the right-hander to give up on the pitch perhaps a little too soon, and then if you want to make a swing at it, you're tied up, and obviously so very late, you really can't do anything with it.
Baylor down to first to Upshaw. And Baylor's 0 for 3. There are a few other 0-fers in this game against Stieb. Red Sox have only had 4 hits. And
24.
In opposition, the Blue Jays have had just 2 hits on Bruce Hurst, against Bruce Hurst. Evans is 0 for 1. He struck out and walked. Stieb has fanned 5 in the game. He's walked 2 and he's hit a batter. And threads the corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch that time. Strike 2. 1-2.
Toronto left fielder George Bell is really getting a lot of heat from the fans along the third base side and in back of the Toronto dugout.
Foul back here.
And apparently some words were exchanged on the Blue Jays coming in the previous inning into that dugout. And so a big roar. May have heard the roar or may not have heard the roar down there.
I figured it must be Bell involved somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a sharp shot to left by Evans. Dwight Evans down on the count and singles. His 6th hit of the season.
Good bit of watching by Evans through this sequence of pitches, and finally the breaking ball turns out to be a real plus for Dwight. He stays right with it. This is one of the prettiest base hits. Right down, you get after that breaking ball, you hit it just as it starts to break, and then the line drive is too high for the infielder, but quickly ducks as it gets over the infield and way too short for the outfielders.
It's got to feel good too. That
yes,
was bad. Henderson rips a foul into the crowd in left.
I didn't see a lot of them, but they tell me that Ted Williams used to hit line drives of that type. Infielders couldn't get up to them, and the ball wouldn't stay in the air long enough. It would just turn over and always bounce in front of the outfielders. I think he kind of catch that pitch just a little on the upswing to put the bottom to top type of spin on it. An overspin. A lot of times we see the big strong hitters do that to the ground balls to get them through infields.
Henderson looks at ball 1. Dave has flied to right and had a fielder's choice. Red Sox have 5 hits now. 2 of them singles. Home runs by Rice and Sullivan, and a double by Boggs. Strike's just going to sit there, enjoy the sun for a while, and get the ball back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Evans takes off. A strike, and the play is an out. Fernandez taking the throw. Strong throw by Matt Stark, and Fernandez was right there.
Stark had a little problem against the Cleveland Indians the other day in a game up in Toronto. The Indians stole 5 bases on him. That swing didn't quite hold Stark back long enough. He was able to move forward to accept the throw, and Evans' head first slide will come up just a tap short. Good tag play put on by Fernandez as he was up in front of the bag to take that throw and drop the tag on Dwight.
So there are 2 away now. Bases clean. Strike 3 on Henderson, and he knew it. 6 strikeouts for Stieb. At the end of 6 innings, the Red Sox lead 3-0.
Too many low-priced mufflers. Die young, doomed to an early grave. But at Speedy Muffler King, our low-priced mufflers live on, guaranteed for as long as you own your car. You could go elsewhere, but that would be a very grave error. Speedy Mufflers, $29.95 installed. For low prices and high quality, we're right on the money.
Get on track with quality Uniroyal tires at your nearby Uniroyal dealer. Uniroyal tires are built tough to meet the hazards of driving. Right now, get a $100 U.S. savings bond free when you buy 4 Tiger Par Plus all-season radial white walls. And when you buy 2, get a $50 U.S. savings bond free direct from Uniroyal. But hurry, Uniroyal's free bond bonus offer on Tiger Par Plus ends April 30th. Call 1-800-322-7778 for your nearest Royal Care dealer.
Weeknights on Barney Miller.
How long you been a cop?
I was the first. I don't think that's possible.
You know, you remind me of my first husband.
Oh, really?
He's dead now, but you looked like him when he was alive, too.
If you play your cards right, you might be able to buy me a drink later.
Oh, my God.
They know that you're sharp. You're on the ball.
It's Open and Shut-Eye Cases on Barney Miller. Weeknights at 7:30 here on TV 38.
If you want all the information used by newspapers, radio, and TV, order your copy of the 1987 Red Sox Media Guide. Send $5 with your name and address to Red Sox Media Guide, Yawkey Way, Boston, Mass. 02215. Through 6 innings, the Red Sox hold a 3-0 lead on a homer by this fella, Mark Sullivan, a homer by Jim Rice. You're looking at the thing that Mark Sullivan's foot.
A lot of added protection. They actually came out with the protection on both feet. Actually only needed it on the left one, but I'm sure that makes him a little more relaxed behind that plate. Lloyd Mosby to lead it off for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays trailing 3-0 behind a fine pitching effort of Bruce Hurst. This pitch fouled away. Mosby has been called out on strikes his 2 previous at-bats. Ended the first inning, and he struck out in the 4th. Bounced foul, but hard down the first base side. One thing you count on from Mosby, he will take some, well, air-moving swings, that's for sure. And he'll steal some bases. He stole 32 bases last year. Top part of that Toronto order. You have to be very conscious of speed-wise. Softly. Barrett is there on a couple of bounces on to Buckner. And Mosby now 0 for 3. 1 down. Here comes George Bell. He has been greeted, I would say that way more at Fenway than any other way. the last couple of years.
Ever since 2 years ago in the Bruce Keeson incident.
He answered some of that last year, though, here. A big round of boos like that in the second or third pitch to him in a sequence. He lost the baseball, which he can certainly do.
Best way to do it.
1 ball, 1 strike to the Toronto left fielder. Pops this one up into left field. Shallow. On comes Rice. Out goes Owen. And Owen will get out of the way for Jim Rice. And Bell, I'm sure, will get it once again as he gets back to the Toronto dugout.
Rice coming on and yelling Owen away. Says, get out of my way, Spike. I got it. His ball all the way. There goes Lonesome George.
2 down quickly in the Toronto half of the 7th inning. Boston leading 3-0. Here's the right fielder, Jesse Barfield. Tried to tie it up with that swing, I believe, didn't he? 0-1.
Got him overloaded in the left side of the infield again.
For some reason, and I had the chance to see the pitching report or scouting report on Barfield. Something we were doing one of our little 3-minute fills last year. Renee Latzman, who kept a book on all hitters around the league. For some reason, Barfield hit the ball more to the opposite field against left-handers than against right-handers. Well, the Red Sox infield are playing it just opposite of that right here. Pretty much like a Don Baylor shift, or oftentimes a Jim Rice shift. We're seeing a lot of that now around the league. Good off-speed pitch by Hurst. And the count is level at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Barrett moves back to the right side of second base with the count even. Everything is standard in the infield. Foul tip hung on to by Sullivan. And Hurst has retired the Blue Jays in order in the top of the 7th inning. That's strikeout number 5 for the Red Sox left-hander. After 6.5 from Fenway, Boston 3 and Toronto nothing.
The game is on TV 38. For all that you do.
Say, landscaper, tomorrow college student. Yep. Finally took your advice, Mike.
You taught him.
Already you're smart.
All you knew. They say he's a lot like you. Yeah, you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
To a future architect. And to a brother who made it possible.
This bud's for you.
Ah, yes, the new car rebate. It sort of works like this. First, they charge you too much for a new car. Then they make a big deal about giving you some of your own money back. Who do they think they're fooling? Well, right now, it's no fooling days at your Hyundai dealer. With cars priced right in the first place. 7 XL models under $7,000 and starting at only $51.95. No bait, no rebate, no fooling.
For your nearest Eastern New England Hyundai dealer, call toll-free today. We sell cars that make sense.
As you have a look at the K's for Bruce Hurst out in the bullpen area, we'll pause here for station identification. This is the TV 38 Red Sox Network.
This is TV 38, WSBK TV, Boston.
At Fenway Park on a beautiful opening day, home opener. A couple of the strong boys in the Red Sox bullpen, Calvin Schiraldi to the left of your screen, and Wes Gardner. Both of them with 1 appearance each over the Milwaukee series. You'll be seeing and hearing those names quite a bit, I'm sure, in 1987. Boston leads 3-0. Here's Mark Sullivan, a solo homer for Mark, leading off the third inning. And he was out on a fly ball back in inning number 5. Red Sox with just 5 hits off Dave Stieb. A fanning swing by Mark. I'd like to clarify a few plays we had in that ball game yesterday. Of course, from my observation, we don't have an opportunity to get the up-close thing. Even replays sometimes do not tell us what actually happens. Barrett said I did tag Yount up on the head, so he would have been out. And on the interference call, which Gantner reached safely on and then kept that inning alive. On the interference call, the bat hit a string, a leather string off the mitt of Danny Schaefer. Looked like on the replay there was some contact with the bat on the back of the glove, but that'll help clarify those, something we couldn't do at the time. Sullivan pops this one up in foul ground near the Blue Jay dugout, and it's out of play. While we're on the business of notes, Ned, you may know this one, but I'll pass it along anyway for our viewers who I know oftentimes are interested in notes. We were talking about the duo yesterday, the 300-game duo of Necro and Carlton working in the same game. For Steve Carlton, that broke up a major league record consecutive starting string for him. He had started 544 straight games without a relief appearance.
That's a lot of times of taking the ball out of your locker, isn't it?
You're not kidding. He hadn't missed too many starts in his career over some kind of injury or a hangnail or a bruise here or there.
I think it was his first save since 1968.
Correct. So much for the notes. Sullivan is out on strikes as Steve goes to the slider. Sullivan literally fans at that one. And that's strikeout number 7 for Steve.
He is keeping the ball away from Sullivan since that first home run by Mark, which was in on him a little bit. And ever since that time, that's what Mark has been seeing up at the plate.
Red Sox shortstop Spike Owen ready to step in. Spike is called out on strikes in the third, and something he does not want to do, popped up to left in inning number 5. Low and away from Stark, just a short way. 1 ball, no strikes. All spring, Spike was working from both sides of the plate on hitting the ball on the ground in the line and keeping it out of the air, especially when he's batting from that left side. Toward the middle, but Orage is there, and Spike is retired. That ball off of a broken bat of Spike probably prevented it from getting into center field.
Wouldn't hit that badly, but the bat did break. Took off some of the momentum of the baseball, and Orage was right there.
Double action in the Toronto bullpen. The big man, number 50, is Tom Hinkie. Left-hander was Jeff Musselman again. I do believe. I couldn't see his number, but it looked like him facially. Wade Boggs, a big double for him back in that 5th inning for the Red Sox. Kept an inning alive. Had 2-out double. Wound up into the 3rd Red Sox run. Boggs in this ball game, 1 for 3. One other game going on in the major leagues this afternoon. Chicago White Sox hosting Detroit, and I'm sure that would be the Chicago home opener, would it not be? I'm not positive about that, but at any rate, Detroit climbed all over the White Sox, and Allen for 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning. That was highlighted by, what else, a leadoff homer by Lou Whitaker. And Matt Noakes hit his first major league home run. He hit that with a man on in the 1st inning for the 3 Tiger runs. Breaking ball misses that outside corner to Boggs. Frank Tanana on the mound for the Tigers. Chicago coming to bat in the bottom of the first. Popped up left field. Oh, there's something you rarely see Boggs do. Bell with the one-handed grab, and the Sox are retired in order in the 7th inning. We'll go to inning number 8, and the Red Sox are shutting out the Blue Jays 3-0.
Weeknights on TV 38 at the stroke of midnight, an hour of horror in the dead of night with Alfred Hitchcock presents Hurst at midnight and again at 12:30. Put an end to your day with 60 minutes of murder.
It's poison.
Blackmail, mystery, and foul deeds. Better late than ever. Alfred Hitchcock presents weeknights at 12 and 12:30 here on WSBK TV 38.
Your time to break away now.
It's one fun. It's good fun.
Disney World's a great vacation. Zippity-doo-dah. Zippity-yay.
Together at Disney. I'll never get them out of here. Wonderful day.
It's one thing to say you fight friction. It's another thing to prove it. Kendall Motor Oil did. First, ordinary piston rings were plated with pure gold. Then, a prestigious independent laboratory ran them under stop-and-go driving conditions for 5,000 miles. The results? Look, Kendall protected the soft gold. Now, doesn't that tell you something? Kendall Motor Oil, for protection worth its weight in gold.
Kendall Motor Oil is available at Motomart.
We'll go to the 8th inning with Bruce Hurst facing Willie Upshaw here to lead off the 8th inning for the Blue Jays. Bruce Hurst holding a 3-0 lead over the Blue Jays on, well, I'd have to say, just about a perfect day weather-wise. Ned, I don't know what more we could ask for. Started out a little overcast, and as the Red Sox brightened up with a couple of home runs, so did the sky.
Well, we've had 2 good days for baseball, and that's the 2 best days they've had in about 3 weeks, including Florida. Upshaw, a strike. Willie has flied to left and grounded to second. Baltimore later on at Cleveland. They'll be playing in another hour. That big opener that Cleveland always has in the big ballpark by the lake. It'll be Mike Flanagan going for Baltimore and Scott Bales for the Cleveland Indians. Everything else is tonight in each league. One ball and 2 strikes. Teams all changing around now. The Brewers going to Texas. Yankees still on the road. They'll be at Kansas City. Minnesota at Seattle and the Battle of the Domers. And California will be playing at Oakland. Rick Rhoden scheduled to get a start for the Yankees tonight at Kansas City after coming off the spring training injury to his rib cage. 3-2.
Should have been out for taking that pitch.
Full count to Upshaw. Out of play. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Hey, we had a nice time today before the game. A lot of our very nice sponsors along with us here at Fenway Park. We welcome them to Fenway, and we welcome them to help us bring New England people Red Sox baseball.
A walk, and the first given up by Hurst as Upshaw is on. Had not walked a batter up until that time. Matter of fact, through 7 innings, Hurst had faced only 23 batters. That's 2 over the minimum.
I think he knew when he released it, he had an idea. There's Calvin Schiraldi loosening quickly now in the Red Sox bullpen.
Hitter now is Matt Stark, the catcher. He's 0 for 2, and the move to first sends Upshaw back. Stark has had a fielder's choice and a fly ball to right. There's that bucket swing of his and a foul back. Red Sox 3 runs, 5 hits and an error. Toronto no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Barrett. Owen. Double play. That takes care of that. Marty Barrett over to Spike Owen to Buckner.
Well, as pretty as you please, just what the doctor ordered. Hurst walks his first man of the ball game, leading off the 8. It's late. You're leading by 3.
1-3.
Nothing fancy Dan about it, but it simply got the job done. Didn't have to be fancy. They had plenty of time to turn it. Everything very accurate and right on time.
Nice little feed by Barrett to Owen so that Owen would have no trouble with it. 2 down now, and here's Fielder. And he pops one. Foul, back out of play. Nobody knows where it is, but it's back. Hurst lost it. 1 strike to Cecil Fielder, who has struck out and popped up. Hurst has 5 strikeouts. Stieb has 7. It's been a fine duel. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breeze has died down now. High to center field, drifting back, Henderson. And Hurst has him in the 8th. Faces only 3 batters, even though walking 1. The double play helped. After 7.5, 3-0, Boston.
This is Jack Klugman, next on Quincy.
So somebody get a bat.
I'm sorry. Sorry to be your mentor.
I'm right. You might be saving the company $2 million.
In this case, there's no reason to suspect anything.
You want to know how big a business insurance fraud is?
Some maniac murdered him Friday night.
Murdered? A horse vet?
Accusing him of murder?
Please, let her go! Please!
The most advanced Learjet ever designed. For $6 million, it's just one of the things you could buy if you win Mass Millions, with a few million left over for gas money. A week on the magical island of Bora Bora, in a bungalow with stairs that lead to the sapphire blue lagoon below, and 1 week with airfare is $5,000, which means with a $5,000 third prize, it's just one of the things you could buy if you don't win Mass Millions.
You lift your head, it pounds. You turn it, and it throbs. This is the pain of sinus stress. Advanced formula Dristan helps eliminate sinus stress. Dristan works deep in your sinuses to reduce swelling of sinus passages, to release pressure, and to relieve pain. Dristan helps eliminate sinus stress.
Tristan, you sure know how to take the pressure off.
Dristan, tablets and new coated caplets, too.
The governor of Massachusetts, the Honorable Michael Dukakis, in the lower box seats here at Fenway today. We've had him a couple of times visit our booth. Apparently quite a sports fan and certainly a Red Sox fan. New pitcher for the Blue Jays as the bottom of the 8th inning comes around in this ball game with the Red Sox leading 3-0. And when you see Tom Hinkie, that's exactly what you want the score to be. You don't want it to be the other way around because this man has been known to shut some doors. Those numbers illustrate that. 9 wins, 5 losses for Toronto last year. The big key, of course, is 27 saves. He's noted for the strikeout. And he gets a lot of them. 118 strikeouts last year and only 91 innings. This year he's worked just 1 inning. He's already struck out 2. So
perfect inning against the Indians, and he finished that game. And struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced.
Turn it up.
Henke moving in against Barrett. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Red Sox hold a 3-0 lead. Ball 1 to Marty. Barrett has struck out, walked, and been hit by a pitch. It's over to right field and Jesse Barfield. 1 down. Good job by Dave Stieb today. It's just that Bruce Hurst has been a little bit better. Stieb went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He hit a batter, and 2 of those runs came on homers by Rice and Sullivan. Bill Buckner turned some of the plaudits or implaudits around that he got earlier in the afternoon by singling home a run, a 2-out run in the 5th inning, as he has done so many times, to make it a 3-0 ball game. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. It toward right. It is a hook and a foul. A spot that he likes. Nothing in 1 to Buck with 1 out in the 8th inning. Red Sox ahead by 3. In the Toronto 9th inning, they will have Orge, Fernandez, and Gruber scheduled up. I think he moves it away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Buckner. And there's a shot to the gap in left center field that's going to make daylight. 1 hop to the wall. Buckner trying for 2. He's going to be out if they make the play at all. Long single and cut down on a throw from Lloyd Mosby to the second baseman, Garth Orge. Well, he tries it. He's getting a nice hand as he comes back.
Buck's going to have to remember that those wheels just won't do what he thinks they could do or what he remembers them being able to do. This play here with a play right in front of him. Nothing wrong with that big aggressive turn at first base and holding there. That's all.
Jim Rice, a fisting little looper to second base, taken there by Orge. And that is all for the Red Sox in the 8th. We go to the 9th inning. Boston leading 3-0.
The celebration continues. To order Nesson, call your local cable company today.
I'm moving ahead, reaching for more, doing my best, is what I'm here for. I'm working real hard and I'm having some fun, and I'm carrying a car that's #1. I've got my baby car, it keeps getting better. I've got my baby car, it's getting better and better.
Step into the future of fitness. The new Holiday Super Fitness Center is coming to Boston. Everything you could want, all at one club. Jogging track, aerobics, swimming pool, Nautilus, circuit weight training, life cycles, and more. This is your chance for pre-opening savings. We're offering 61% off pre-opening charter memberships for a limited time only. Call between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. for this special offer. The Holiday Super Fitness Center. What the art of health clubs is coming to.
We mentioned this Toronto outfield earlier, how quick they are at foot, how powerful they are. They also got some pretty good throwing arms, as demonstrated there by Mosby. Orge has so much time. Sometimes as an infielder, you get confused. You have to go looking for the runner.
Pat Dodson is the new first baseman replacing Buckner defensively for the Red Sox. That's a luxury that McNamara really didn't have as much of last year. Dodson is a real first baseman. Dave Stapleton was an infielder, utility infielder that played at first base, but Dodson is a first baseman by trade. You put him in there late, well, you know you've got something fairly solid out there. Used to playing the bag. There's a strike 2 on Orge. Bruce Hurst. What a fine 8 innings he has put together. Trying to close it right now. Orge is 1 for 2, has one of the 2 hits off Hurst. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Garth. Number 9 hitter with Fernandez, the leadoff hitter, on deck.
Here's a point here that I'm sure Jimmy Williams would like to have that strong right-handed bat, although he might not use it at this particular point because this batting spot couldn't tie the game or even put you ahead.
Got him. Number 6 for Bruce Hurst.
Once again, Hurst was so effective today. He's had such command of the strike zone, and he's had command of the teasing part outside the strike zone. And that's certainly what that pitch was there. One that looks good to you, it teases you. All of a sudden, it's not there anymore.
Tony Fernandez taking strike 1. Fernandez has grounded out, had a fielder's choice, and singled. Hurst is working like in such good rhythm today, just like a machine out there. 2-1.
Well, if Bruce can keep everything as it is here now, finish this one off, and then the combination of Clemens following him with some high-riding heat tomorrow, if Roger is right, as a batter, you kind of wonder which stream you want to be in. A little hard to turn it up and turn it on, get it going and stop it.
To the middle of the infield and Spike Owen. 2 down. Oil Can Boyd admiring the work of Bruce Hurst today. They're all up there and applauding Hurst. Bruce, Bruce, Bruce. One batter away from pitching a shutout in his first start of the year. Red Sox lead 3-0. Kelly Gruber is the batter. Fastball, ball 1. Gruber has fouled out, grounded out, and had a fielder's choice. Two 2-0. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fly ball, left field. Jim Rice back. Shot out for Bruce Hurst. Now you can't pitch any better than that. Bruce Hurst turns it around in a hurry here after the 3 Milwaukee losses and shuts out Toronto. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. He only faced 2 over the minimum. And the final score, the Red Sox 3, Toronto 0. We'll wrap it up in a moment.
This bud's for all that you do.
It could be any time now.
No, Bill had to leave. Can I help you?
A friend is counting on you.
We need copies by 4:30.
I'll cover it for him.
Not a word.
You keep on coming through, 'cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bud's for you.
You're a darling, you're an angel, and I love you. But you always get me steamed somehow. You just gotta stop before I blow my top. One of these days,
Right in the kisser!
one of these days.
The Honeymooners, weeknights at 10 and 10:30, here on TV 38.
Back to our game. Kids, what's the molecular weight of glutamic acid?
147 Daltons.
Oh, Wilson had it. In Haydn's Symphony number 11,
E-flat.
to the tiebreaker. The 9X Yellow Pages has always had more information than any competing directory. Why would anyone need another? Kids?
The 9X Yellow Pages. It's the one you've always had. It's the only one you need.
Saturday night at 6.
Boy, it's going to be busier than a ladies' room on nickel beer night.
You've got a date with It's a Living.
I got this hot date tonight. Got anything back there to help get her in the mood?
Phone number of another guy?
Next at 6:30, Vicki Lawrence in Mama's Family.
The cat's out of the bag now.
Oh, are we going to have fun?
Next at 7, Danny Thomas has one big family.
You know what they call a father who doesn't make mistakes? What? A bachelor.
Saturday nights here on TV 38.
The total's on the game, and Bruce Hurst made it a very simple game this afternoon by shutting out the Toronto Blue Jays. The Red Sox got the home run, and they got the shutout pitching. Red Sox 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 left. And the Toronto Blue Jays, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base, and only 2 over the minimum of 27 batters to be faced.
And he walked one of those to get involved with that. Of course, the double play helped him a little bit there, erase that. But the only thing you could ask Bruce Hurst to do today maybe would have been sell some tickets for you before the game started, because he did everything else except to hit or maybe throw with the right hand.
Well, he makes it bookends around the season against Toronto. He ended up by shutting them out on 6 hits to clinch a tie last year, and he shuts them out the first time he faces them this year. We'll be back in a moment with more.
Only one rear-engine Ryder is America's #1 choice, Snapper. #1 in rugged dependability and innovative features, like high vacuum mowing with your choice of catchers. Snapper, America's #1 choice. Quick-starting Snapper walk mowers have the same built-in quality and let you detach, vacuum leaves, and finish the whole job fast.
Now you can own Snapper quality for as little as $299.95 and get a free rear bagger. Low monthly payments with Snap Credit. Snapper dealers are in your yellow pages under lawnmowers.
On the next MASH.
Be nice to him. Buddy up to him. Treat him like a pal.
With Hot Lips in Tokyo, Colonel Potter has a plan to mellow out Major Burns.
Why don't you get in the game with us?
Oh, thanks a lot. I know when I'm not wanted.
Now, come on, Frank. We really want you.
Me?
Yeah, come on, Frank.
Don't mind.
Get Frank a drink, BJ. Yes, sir. Park it right here.
Will being nice to Frank pay off, or will it kill everyone on MASH?
Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdale has been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste that only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste. Because this Bud's for you.
Well, the Red Sox hit 2 home runs today, and Fred Lawton and Mary Sullivan are today's TV 38 Red Sox home run sweepstakes winners. Each will win 2 tickets to a Red Sox home game. All you have to do to enter and also be eligible in the TV 38 Red Sox home run sweepstakes and a grand prize